What is up, you absolute stunners? Welcome back to the channel and to another product review. Today we are going to take a look at a budget exhaust option for the Ducati Multistrada 1260. So if you're interested in that, keep watching and we'll get into it. Okay, well, as usual, we are in the kitchen. The Ducati's sitting out there. The GSX is sitting out there. And it is a miserable bloody winter's day. It's about mid-February, somewhere around about there. And I'm just kind of still getting over my quite invasive surgery that I had a couple of weeks ago. So I've been a bit quiet on the channel. I did post something in the community section about that. But I won't whinge on about my woes and my life. We're here to discuss the budget option, as it were, exhaust for the 1260S Ducati. This comes from Moto. You may have heard of them. They are listing stuff on eBay all the time. They got in touch and said, look, we've seen some of your reviews, would you like to check out one of our exhausts? And as we've got another Multistrada 1260, that's a story that I'm not going to get into right now, I said yes, okay, send one out and we'll have a look. So let's get this box open and see exactly what you get. Alright, box is open. Let's see if we can actually do this one-handed. Not a great deal in the way of packing, it has to be said, but it looks like you get a little lanyard kind of tag there, key tag thing. It looks like you also get a cheap Chinese looking kind of, well, it's got GR Moto written on it actually, so that's not too bad. That's your tank protector there, not quite sure, but I'm not going to complain about that. That's a nice little touch. Looks like we've got some sealant there as well, permanent seal to connect it up to the link pipe as well. And yeah, that's about that for that bag. Looks like we have a spacer as well. I'm sure there are some instructions in here somewhere, so we'll have a little look. It could be, of course, that this GR Moto can is a kind of universal can, and what they do is they send you this link piece here to fit to your Ducati Multistrada 1200S or the 1260 by the looks of things, so it does actually fit the old 1200. Good to know. Alright, let's put that to one side and get this big box open. Alright, there it is out of the internal box, as it were, and there is your bracketry, as in your hanging bracketry there. Again, we will go through this, I guess, if there are any instructions, but so far I've seen nothing in the way of instructions. These things are kind of self-explanatory, though I'm sure you'll agree. Effectively, you'll put that where the old bracket was and you'll slip that end can over it and you'll do it all up and that'll be that, you know. And again, with these kind of generic universal type silencers, there is no need to have them remapped and all that kind of stuff. You can do, of course, but I think that's more relevant for the Timignonis and, you know, your more expensive full-on systems that you need to really think about getting things remapped. With these kind of slip-on cans, generally speaking, you can just literally, as the name would suggest, slip them on, start the bike, let it relearn, as it were, because the ECU will do all that anyway, and take it out for a quick ride, and it should be perfectly fine. Let's get this bag off. Okay, so there it is in all its glory, the GR Moto for the 1260S. Racing exhaust technology, it says. It weighs a fair bit more than the Chinese kind of equivalents do. I mean, I don't know if you've ever bought any of those kind of knockoff Akrapovic style exhausts of Chinese websites or eBay. It does look a bit like that, I have to say, especially this end piece over here, but it is far more premium feeling in that respect, and this kind of embossed logo over here is quite nice. There's obviously the baffle you can see in the end of there. I'm assuming that's removable. Yep, there's a little screw in there if you want to remove the baffle. We'll do that. Obviously, we'll do a sound check once we've fitted this. Not much else to say. There are no instructions, but as I said, they are quite self-explanatory. You've got your hanger there, as it were, to replace the original hanger. There is your clamp to connect it to what I assume you will need is this. Now, it could be that you need that if you're using it on the 1200, or you only need it if you're using it on the 1260. We will, of course, find out. So what we'll do is we'll pop out to the garden, we'll unwrap the big mighty Ducati, and we'll put you on a tripod, and I'll talk you through getting the old system off, or the old end can, as it were. Pretty simple. And then we'll put this on, we'll have a quick sound check with the baffle in, and a quick sound check with the original exhaust, and then the last sound check will be with this end can on with the baffle out, and you can make your own minds up, and I'll leave a link obviously in the description to where you can buy this. Now, obviously, as I said, this is a budget option coming in around about 220 quid, which is, as I'm sure you'd agree, very good value for the Ducati Multistrada. Generally speaking, they're well over 5, 6, 7, even up to £1,000 for those. So I wanted to try this out to give you guys an idea of if it's worth doing, should you get one, what it sounds like, and then you can make your own minds up. Anyway, enough waffle. Let's get out to the bike, and I'll get the old system off, get this on, we'll do some sound checks and have a little chat after that, and I'll give you my final thoughts. Okay guys, so the first thing we're going to have to do is get rid of this black shield just down here. There are 3 bolts for that. There's one at the top, there's one right at the bottom, and there's one right in the centre. So we'll whip that off ever so quickly. I've taken the screws out already. And as you can see, taking that away will give you access to the big catalytic converter. Let's pull back a little bit here. The big catalytic converter, the servo valve here for the exhaust. And I'm assuming what we'll do then is simply unbolt it from this bolt over here, and then that exhaust should just fall away and we can get the GR Moto can on there. So I'll put you back on the tripod and hopefully we'll get that done. Okay, well that was pretty simple. As you could see, it's just one bolt holding that on to the catalytic converter. That is actually out of the way now. The only real troublesome bolt there is this top one just over here that fits on the top of that section over there. It's a real bugger to get to because the swing arm's actually in the way of it. So what you will need is a little one of these here. I hope you can see that focused up there. Don't use an Allen key because you'll round it off. So you'll need a set of these. It's not a security one. This is a security one, but you won't need that, but you'll need that. I'll try to work out the size for you in a sec, guys. So that is a T15, I do believe, and that's exactly what you'll need to get the little shroud cover off. Just a quick heads up as well, guys, when you do put this rubber ring around the clamp, as it were, the retaining clamp, make sure you do it this way round, because if you put it this way round, or as in that on the inside, it will melt. It's a bit of a ball ache, but it is very, very doable. It takes you about 3 minutes, and that, I'm assuming, because obviously there are no instructions, so I'm hoping this is going to help you out, that will bolt everything together basically and connect it to the bike. Well, as you can see, guys, it's on. We have the old one sitting just down there. Now bear in mind, this isn't actually held on with any kind of strap, no kind of retaining bracket as a normal exhaust would be, and I think I'm right in saying that this is going to be exactly the same, because although we do get a retaining strap, you saw that just now, there is absolutely nowhere, as you can see, to fit the retaining strap. So I'm assuming you don't have one, and that is, as I mentioned earlier on in the video, that is a kind of almost universal exhaust, and they give you the adapter for the 1200 1260 Multistrada, and the strap just comes in the box. So I get a feeling these probably fit most bikes, but they advertise this to fit the Ducati Multistrada 1260. The good news is it looks really, really nice. I think you'll agree. So we'll get this started up and then we will give you a sound check. Okay, well, as you can see, the GR Moto can is on. A couple of things I do want to point out. One is extremely close to that back wheel. I'm not happy about that at all. Obviously we can move it out and tighten things up, but that is way too close for my mind, although it looks really, really nice. And the other thing, of course, is the covering shroud. Where exactly are you supposed to put that then? Because that fits onto the exhaust. So yeah, obviously buying a budget exhaust for the Multistrada 1260, possibly not a great idea, because as I said, that shroud fits over that to cover up all the kind of catalytic converter down there, and you can't fit it with the new exhaust. So what are you going to do? You're just going to basically have this and then have all this buggery going on around here? I don't think so, no. So I'm going to stop right here. I'm not going to go any further with the video, and I'm going to send it back, and I'm hoping that has enlightened you slightly when it comes to budget options for the Multistrada 1260 exhaust. This GR Moto, it looks nice, but it's not fit for purpose in that respect. You can't just have all that sitting there looking like that. That's awful, and I think it's too close to the back wheel for my liking. So as I said, I hope this has helped you out. If it has, then consider subscribing to the channel, give the video a like, a thumbs up, a share, all that kind of good stuff, and hopefully I will have saved you a little bit of money if you are considering the GR Moto slip-on exhaust, because it's only about 220 quid. If you are considering that, I would consider again and possibly getting something just a little bit better suited. All right, guys, that's it for this one. We'll catch up soon.